The owner of the building or a general contractor will be the legally responsible parties.
Let's say you're walking down the street in New York City and you're injured because of something that happened at a construction site. Could you have a personal injury case? How do you get help? We're going to find out right now the answers to those questions and more, because that's what we're going to ask the lawyer. Hi again, everybody. I'm Rob Rosenthal with AskTheLawyers.com. My guest this time is New York City attorney Ron Landau. Right off the top, I want to remind you, if you'd like to ask Ron questions about your situation, it's super easy. Go to AskTheLawyers.com. Click the button at the top of the page that says Ask a Lawyer, or you can call the phone number on the screen. Ron, good to see you as always. Thank you for taking some time to answer our questions.
Thank you for having me, Rob. Good to see you.
So it would seem to me this is an obvious question. There's lots of pedestrians in New York City. There's lots of construction in New York City. Is this something that happens where pedestrians are injured at construction sites?
I can't imagine that a day goes by where we do not get a phone call. I was walking past a construction site. I was caused to fall on construction debris. I was caused to fall over a misleveled sidewalk. I was caused to fall due to a portion of the scaffolding extending onto the sidewalk. This is a daily phenomenon here in New York City. And pedestrians have to obviously be aware of their surroundings, but it is incumbent upon the general contractor, the owner of the building, the owner of the construction project, to make sure those sidewalks are free and clear from debris and or defects for the safety of the pedestrians. That is the law here in the city of New York.
It would seem to me, Ron, that at any time on a construction site, there's lots of different workers from lots of different companies. Does that make it difficult to figure out who's responsible ultimately?
Absolutely not.
Oh.
It is the easiest problem in the world to solve. Here in New York City, the owner of a property is responsible for the sidewalk in front of his building. If he's having work done by a general contractor, then generally speaking, there are signs indicating who the general contractor is, and we would make claims against both the owner and general contractor. Now, obviously, frequently there are other subcontractors who are also using that same sidewalk. That is not the responsibility of the pedestrian to know who the subcontractors are. In New York, we have a law that says, an administrative code, the owner of the building or a general contractor will be the legally responsible parties. Whether or not those parties might get indemnified by a subcontractor or covered under a different insurance policy, certainly a possibility. But that is not the pedestrian's concern.
What if the pedestrian accidentally walks into a construction site where they're not supposed to go? Say fencing's is not put up properly or has been taken down, or the signs are not, they didn't see signs or whatever. Does that change things?
The statutes here in New York are crystal clear. If you are walking someplace that's available for you to walk and there is no fencing and you are walking in that area, you have a legitimate reason to be there. And if you are injured while at that construction site that is unfenced, you're cutting through a corner or something along those lines, and it's not fenced and it's not boarded up, that entity that owns that project will be found legally responsible for the injuries that you suffer. There is a responsibility on the project manager, the safety manager, to make sure that pedestrians cannot just wander into their construction sites.
It seems to me some people might see this, Ron, and say, hear what you're saying, and say, well, then it's pretty clear. The owner of the building's at fault. I should just contact them on my own, settle the case on my own. What's the benefit of having someone like yourself help them in these situations?
Well, you could certainly do that, and you would get what they proverbially call ice in the winter. That's what you would get if you, as a lay person, made a phone call to a construction manager and said, hey, I fell, I broke my leg. There's a substantial likelihood they'll make you an offer. It would be about 5 cents on the dollar. There's no threat to a construction manager or an owner of a building of a lay person who writes a letter or sends a note to the construction manager, I was hurt, I'd like to settle. What we have going for us over here at Mirman, Markovits Landau is 40 years of these insurance companies knowing who we are, knowing that we will go to the mat, we will go to the end, We will fight to the death to get our clients the benefits that they deserve. And we will not tolerate any short sale or anything along those lines when it comes to our clients and compensating them for their injuries.
It seems like every case, there's urgency, time is of the essence. Contact someone like yourself as early as possible in the process. Is that the situation here as well?
Absolutely, absolutely. We've had circumstances where the delay of the claimant in contacting a lawyer has meant that they do not receive a recovery at all. A client who might wait as short as 2 or 3 weeks may not have the ability to collect. Perhaps the building has been transferred. Perhaps the building has been sold. Perhaps the construction is over. Things of that nature. But it is all, or assuming they do contact us and we're not able to take photos of what caused them to fall or things of that nature, jurors, when we try these cases, want to see demonstrative evidence. They want to see pictures of what caused this person to fall. They want to see what it looked like. And these things assist us in getting our clients the compensation that they deserve for the injuries that they've suffered.
Great advice as always. Lots of good information, Ron. Thank you for making some time and helping us out.
Great, Rob. Great seeing you. Thank you.
That's going to take care of this episode of Ask the Lawyer. My guest has been New York City attorney Ron Landau. I remind you again, if you'd like to talk to Ron, ask questions of yourself, well, you just got to go to askthelawyer.com. Click the button at the top of the screen that says Ask a Lawyer, and it'll walk you right through the very easy process right there. Thanks for watching. I'm Rob Rosenthal with Ask the Lawyers.